I explained in the past, the Northern Kingdom fell first under captivity, and we were taken as slaves. This is during the Columbus Exchange, as they exchanged people, meaning they took us as slaves. That's why this statue represents both kingdoms being led away into captivity. Then Judah joined us afterwards. The Southern Kingdom, and Adonai will take you back to Egypt in ships. Abba took us into the Promised Land, but we were not to break covenant, and we did. And under the curse of the Deuteronomy, if we broke covenant, we went back as slaves. That's when the reading of Revelation, it tells you that they sold human beings as slaves. And in the gematria, I explained that both Hispanics and Black people, we share the same gematria. We're the same people. We are Joshua and Jehuda. And this is from the mural of Denver, Colorado, of women laying in coffins, depicting both kingdoms. And it tells you in the reading of Jeremiah, I will repay Babylon and all the Chaldeans for all the evil that they have done to my people, says Adonai. Babylon must fall because of Joshua's slain. Jasharel is the northern kingdom. Jerusalem is the city. Just as the slain in all the earth have fallen because of Babylon. So now the judgments are flipped. History is written by the victor, and they flipped everything. And the Constitution is going to go away, because neither one of our kingdoms are represented in the Constitution. We're considered savages and less than human in the Constitution. The Constitution was written to protect the European colonizer. I'm also going to be including the video again, showing you that the House of England are colonizers that they served the Dark Lord, the Dark Angels, the ones that give the world Christendom.
And aided by angels and archangels, and all the armies of the heavenly host, may thy portion this day be in peace, and thy dwelling in the heavenly Jerusalem.
I mean, these rituals go back at least 5,000 years, and they're initiated into it, and they know all the secrets, and they're trained from their ancestors, these celestial beings.
And aided by angels and archangels.
People were burned alive in the middle of their sleep at night in 1637. Mass Bay Colony, Plymouth Colony, Providence Plantation, Mystic Seaport, all English colonies banded together to burn women and children while they slept in a village at night. They barricaded the exit. They did not allow anyone to leave. They wanted them to burn. They were proud that they burned. This country was proud to write. We could smell their burning, rotting flesh for over a mile away. It's written, folks. Please read it on your own. I am not making this up. Stephen King can't make this up. He was so proud, the town of Norwich, Connecticut, had a statue honoring this man up until roughly a decade ago. John Mason, the man who murdered over 700 people. When anyone, the few people who were able to survive that Holocaust, they were rounded up. They were sold as slaves. Before they were sold, they were marched all the way from Connecticut to Mass Bay Colony, present-day Boston. They were placed on trial. They were declared to be sold as slaves. But before they sent them on that slave ship, they had to humiliate them some more. And they read a declaration that those people shall not ever, once again, even utter the word Pequot. They will know.
Union, President Obama was talking about the need in our nation for new politics. And he said,
"We the people." Our Constitution begins with those three simple words. Words we've come to recognize mean all the people, not just some.
Now, when I heard that, as a Native man, I had to stop and ask when. I've read our founding documents, I've studied our history, and I had to question, when did we decide as a nation that we the people actually means all the people? Literally 30 lines below the statement, all men are created equal, the Declaration of Independence refers to natives as merciless Indian savages, making it very clear the only reason our founding fathers used this inclusive term, all men, because they had a very narrow definition of who was actually human. Now, a few years later, our founding fathers wrote another document. They started this one with the words, "We the people of the United States." This, of course, is the preamble to the Constitution. However, if you read just a few lines later, down to Article 1, Section 2, section of the Constitution that defines who is and who is not covered by this Constitution, the first thing you will note is it never mentions women. Second, it specifically excludes natives. And third, it counts Africans as 3/5 of a person. So who's left? Well, white landowning men is who could vote. Now we have to ponder this for a moment. The reason our Constitution was written, the purpose of our Constitution, is to protect the interests of white landowning men. So today we act shocked that women earn 70 cents to the dollar. This shouldn't shock us. Our Constitution's working. We act surprised that our prisons are filled with people of color. This shouldn't surprise us. Our Constitution's working. We act outraged that in 2010, the Supreme Court sided with Citizens United and rules that corporations now have the same rights to political free speech as individuals. This is what opens the door for super PACs, unlimited contributions to candidates. This shouldn't surprise us. The Constitution's doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's protecting the interests of white landowning men. So this makes our Constitution a systemically white supremacist and sexist document that assumes the white landowning male has the authority to decide who is and who is not human.